Hello, welcome to the House of Cypress. Welcome back for my new subscribers and those of you that were so kind enough to subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. It doesn't matter how small it is. I appreciate every view and the support, and I would love to engage you guys more. I'm coming to talk about chronic pain, and I wanted to talk to you about how chronic pain has impacted my life. For those of you that don't know, I had a trauma in May, and this particular trauma impacted my right knee, which means that I have a partially torn patella tendon, and I have a high patella, which means that my kneecap is sitting higher, which causes my knee to be unstable. On top of that, I have something called, it's another rare condition which I have not disclosed to you guys, but I am now. It's called thoracic outlet syndrome, and I have the neurogenic version because there are 3 versions of this, and it is a rare disease, and I have been diagnosed with it, and it does impact my right side, but it can be bilateral. Bilateral means both sides. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have not gone to school for the medical profession, but I have worked in the medical field doing legal compliance, things of that nature. So I will always try to explain in layman's terms what I'm saying so that you guys can understand. So I woke up and I had this conception, right, that I was going to be productive. I was going to do this. I was going to do that. I couldn't sleep last night, and that's really hard being in chronic pain. I've been in chronic pain since 2018, and I'll break that down. In 2018, I got into a work accident where I had ulnar neuropathy, and that ended up turning into, obviously, neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome. So I can't do the type of typing. I mean, I was processing 300 records a month. I was doing clerical. I did a lot of typing for that job because you just had to at the time. And I ended up getting injured, and I haven't been the same since. From 2018 to 2022. So 2018 to 2019 to 2020, 2020, 2021. It took me 4 years to get pain meds. It took me 4 years to actually get the meds that I need because I wasn't getting it. And when I mean meds, I mean opioids, because I'm going to be frank with you guys, and we're going to have a discussion. That opioid discussion, we will have it. We can have it right now in this video anyway, because I'm going to be frank. I am on opioids. There are times where I have acute pain. Have I ever taken my script how I'm not supposed to? Well, yes. There are times where I will not take my pain meds when I cleaned my house, which, I don't know. Comment if you really want to see a tour of my house all cleaned up. But when I cleaned my house, I would smoke weed. I would smoke my, marijuana, because that is my medication. An interesting fact, my pharmacist who used to fill my marijuana meds, she actually filled my other meds, and that was so awesome. We had such a connection. I was like, wait, I know you. I know exactly where you work, because her name is still on my meds. So she is still listed as a pharmacist, even though she's not there anymore. But I literally digress. And I want to share this with you guys because I want you guys to understand. You have to understand something. The meds that I take that help me to function are very addictive. There are times that I have to not take my meds, and I do tolerance breaks on purpose. I've been doing tolerance breaks for the bud for a hot minute. Where I live in my part of the country, in my state, it's legal. In some places in the world, because I've been seeing the analytics of you guys watching, it's not legal in every place. It's not legal in Russia. I'm Jamaican, and even in Jamaica, it's legal and it's not legal. It's legal when you smoke behind the policeman's back. It's illegal when you smoke in their face. Just to give you guys a context. And so I want you guys to understand that understanding how these meds work is important. I'm going to give you an example. I was doing aqua therapy and I was smoking not the recreational, but my medicinal weed, my medicinal herb, and I took my meds and I had to go swimming in the deep end. And that was one eye opener that I said, I can't mix these and go swimming. The next happened over the past weekend. I had cleaned my whole house because it had to be done, but I had to do it piece by piece. So I had spent like 3-4 days around like December 7th, and I was like cleaning my house. I was like, I just need to declutter. Also too, because I wanted to do the epoxy supplies, and that's where I am going with this, you guys, because I wanted to do the epoxy supplies and start that up, which is the resin. I wanted to make sure my house was clean and that I could had space, I could make space or create space to actually do this, because I'm really interested in doing it and I really want to order the supplies. And I know I've been talking and talking and talking and I still have yet to order, but we will get into that later on. So I cleaned. I ended up taking a little more because I was in acute pain and I felt like I was dying. I took my meds, and unfortunately, I was doing the recreational herb on top of the opioid, and that wasn't a good mix. I felt like I was going to die. I felt like I needed Narcan. I felt like I was going to literally pass out. I am 5'4.5", okay? All right. I am like a petite, curvy person. I carry my weight well, but I have a pudge. I have a stomach. So I want you to think, okay? I'm only 5'4.5". I'm almost 5'5". So put that into perspective, okay? And think about the type of meds I'm taking. They're very strong meds for me, and I usually have an allergic reaction. I'll usually be itching if I take more, which is a common side effect anyway. Any narcotic I take, minus if it's given IV intravenously, I don't itch as much, which is interesting observation. But like I said, I digress. So I felt like I was going to die. It was that feeling I did not forget. And I talked to my mom because she worked in the medical field, and we were talking, and she's like, I wanted to check in on you on Sunday. Like what happened? And I told her what happened, and I didn't take my meds on Sunday. I was like, no, if I'm not doing like walking or going out, I won't take my meds. If I'm not doing anything physical, I just won't take them, unless I feel the pain. And today I felt the pain. I didn't really do too much because if y'all really looked at my house, you'd be like, there's not really too much for you to do anyway. But I woke up and I was in pain. And I usually do this vicious cycle where I'll be in pain. I'll be hard on myself, like, you're in pain, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, because it's just me, you know. My mom is on the West Coast. I have family all over the world, in the UK, DR, Jamaica, Cuba. I mean, literally. So it's not like my family is stationed in one place, so it really does make it difficult. You know, and I haven't seen some of my siblings in like years. But that's a different story for a different video, okay? Because you know, long story short, you know, when you go to an orphanage or a group home or a shelter, you ain't gonna see your siblings for that long. So I mean, trust me. But you know, orphanage in America is different than orphanage in probably Russia or somewhere else, you know. But I digress. Um, I did not, I just felt like I always do this vicious cycle where I'm like hard on myself that I'm not doing the things to be productive. I'm not put That's why sometimes I just don't put out a ton of videos. I want to do this and I want to build it and I want to put out good quality, but then the pain will trick me into like beating myself down. And psychologically, that's just not good. Like, if you're dealing with something, if you're beating yourself down, the world, granted, the world is beating you down. You have people that are already beating you down. That's not good. I saw a post that said, speak life, speak power into your life. I'm paraphrasing, because you already have people that are tearing you down. Why would you tear your own self down? You already got enemies, though. You don't need to be an enemy to yourself. And me doing this when I would get sick, so I said, you know what? Instead of me, snapping at people, which I ended up doing anyway today. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for y'all. I did. I snapped at someone today. Instead of me snapping, let me find the reason for why I feel the way that I do. One is it's going to rain at the end of the week. So come around New Year's, it's probably going to be like a mixture of rain and snow. So I had to take that into consideration. I also have to take into consideration I still haven't healed. It takes about a year to heal from like knee injury or knee surgery. It happened in May. We are in December. So I have to understand that my body is trying to find a homeostasis and bring my body back to the baseline it was before. And we all know that once you have an injury, your baseline changes. And what I mean by baseline is that foundation of where you're healthy, you're strong, where you were before a trauma, an accident, an illness, how your body was able to keep yourself grounded and working properly. And I apologize if I didn't explain that, but baseline. So I went into that and I just said, you know what? I was on YouTube watching my videos on my other accounts. And then I said, okay, let me get myself together. And I did. And I did some things to make myself productive. But then I realized something. I realized that pain keeps me trapped in fear. And that same fear comes when I'm looking and I'm like, I want to buy these epoxy supplies. And all now I haven't done it. And the fear is that what if I don't get the right supplies? And you like, girl, you could just return them supplies right back to where you got it. I understand that, but I feel like, am I just gonna buy something, start it, and not do it? Because the reason why I'm doing this project, partially to like hopefully grow a business out of it, as we all hope, but the other is to find hobbies. It's very hard for me being autodidactic, being as intelligent as I am. And it's funny because I was speaking to the psychologist who was issuing me my IQ exam, and he said, you're someone that needs a lot of stimulation. And being the age that I am, I'll give you guys some of the hobbies that I like to do. I'm 33. I've played the sax for over 15 years, so I love band. I love music. I've done choir. I like to row. I know how to row and I know how to scull. I was almost a black belt in martial arts, so I like things that keep me active. Because I like to move. I don't like to be sedentary too long. It just doesn't feel right in my spirit. Like, I get a lot of like inspiration when I'm on the go, when I'm on the move, when I see things. And it's been hard these past several years because my hand, um a lot of these things you need your hands. Like, I used to write poetry and now I don't write as much. I don't journal as much. I try. I have my journal. I'm looking at it right now. My lovely, and I have like 3 of these. I bought 3 of the same. Like, this is my journal, and I journal. Yeah, I journal. So that's that. But it's being consistent with these things, and I don't want to buy supplies and I'm not consistent, and I don't want to get things, and I'm like missing things, and that holds me back. So then fear. How do you work through fear? I just heard Nike just do it, right? So I went um and I finished putting some money on my Amazon account, and I am going to hopefully either today or tomorrow order these supplies, and I hope that I'm able to like screenshot or share with you guys that this is what I plan on doing. Also, too, if you're working on projects, working them in secret so that you don't have people tearing you down. Not everybody is going to be so supportive of your idea. Like when I said I wanted to do resin, like, and I had people that were very supportive, asking questions and things like that, and I'm very grateful. But that's not always the case. And so I just wanted to come and tell you guys that you shouldn't let fear um tear you down. You shouldn't let fear stop you. And part of this fear is like, I don't want to fail, but you can't, if you fail, you learn. And it's really interesting as someone that, can play different instruments. I know how to play saxophone, piano, keyboard, flute, drum, guitar. And when I would do these different things, I never once thought about failure. I just thought about, oh, I just need to learn this, I just need to learn that, and I need to keep that same spirit going. But the pain plays tricks on my mind. The pain has me thinking that I'm not lovable. People do not care, because oftentimes, I mean, chronic pain is different than acute pain. It's different than pain every now and again. It's even different than like your period pain, like the cramps that you get every month. For those of you that know, if you're a man and you don't know, it's like the pain of getting kicked in the balls on a hundred. But I say all this to say that pain has kept me back. It has made me angry. It has made me upset. It's kept me in fear, because it's like I'm in pain. How can I do things? And it's hard for me to try to adapt and change my routine. I had to change my routine once when I had the ulnar neuropathy, the carpal tunnel, and now I have to change it again now drastically because my leg, I'm having issues walking. So I wanted to express how we should not ever let fear get us down, beat us up, or anything of that nature. And I do hope that I will be back with some more project management, with some more epoxy. And then lastly, I was learning languages. And you guys are probably curious. I was teaching myself Dutch. Spanish was the first one because I knew how to speak Spanish when I was younger, and my grandfather spoke Spanish even though he's Jamaican. Because, long story short, our family migrated from Cuba, and then they came by ship to Jamaica, because Cuba to Jamaica is it's a short ride. So my grandfather's mother and or father spoke Spanish, and then he spoke Spanish. My mom doesn't speak Spanish. I knew how to speak Spanish. My sister, she learned Spanish in school. I learned by ear, by what I heard. And so I was put in special ed. I was actually put in like speech classes, English as a second language, because at the time when I was young, I spoke Spanish and I spoke Patois and I spoke English. And that kind of helped me along. So I think that would be the next step, is that I'm gonna start having you guys um just like expressing and being open about learning a different language. Like ik ben vrouwen is Dutch. I am a woman. Okay. I love Italian. I love Italy. I do not know why. I actually have a Greek name, so I really want to go to Italy is like my first stop, and then Greece. So I do know a little bit of Italian, like besides arrivederci, il Romeo. So I learned languages, and then I was learning like Spanish, like el pasaporte, um bolero, what else? Like pero, like that. I think pero is cat. So I mean, I know how to. I'm picking up on my languages, and then French too. Where it's like, bonjour, bon matin. So I know I can we can go down that rabbit hole, and if you guys know anybody, I mean, I go online and look, but if you guys would like to share, y'all don't comment. So, but I'm still gonna ask y'all, share, what do you want to learn? What are you learning? And how can I help you so that you can learn better? What would you like to see? Would you like me to post tips? Because I do have a background in education, and I can offer educational counseling to you guys. So I just want to know, like, what is it that you want to learn? What is it that you want to master? What is it that you're having trouble on? And I can probably help you find a resource that's going to help you if I can't help you. So I really appreciate all of my followers, all the people that watch. You make this happen. I love you guys. Happy holidays. Please stay safe. Please be kind to yourself, and until next time.